So I'm going to give you a handy dandy trick for things like this, and then you can quit the video fast if you catch on. And if you don't, I'll continue to explain it. When you have a formula that's basic like this, where one variable is equal to another variable divided by another variable, form a pyramid like that, divide your pyramid in two. So now we have three separate boxes. You're going to put your V in the bottom left, you're going to put your T in the bottom right, and you're going to put your distance at the top. Now you have a pyramid that allows you to find any formula. Distance is equal to velocity times time, because they're on the same level. Time is equal to distance divided by velocity, because distance is up here and it gets divided. And finally, velocity is equal to distance divided by time. This is very handy, and it works when there's two variables. Let's pretend there's a mass or some indication down there. So now there's two variables down there. So now I'd have to make three boxes down here. Let's say there's a mass in there or something. You get V, T, M, and distance. Now distance is equal to velocity times time times mass. Mass is equal to distance divided by velocity times time. And time is equal to distance divided by velocity times mass. So it'll work out like that. Where the exception might be is when they're all on the same level. So when you get something like potential energy is equal to mass times gravity times height. In this case, you form the pyramid, but you must put the PE at the top instead of the bottom, because there's essentially no variable there down there to match with. So it goes at the top, and then each of these go down at the bottom, and then you just divide your pyramid up. And now you have an instant algebraic method to discover what's equal to what. The height is equal to potential energy divided by the mass times gravity. Gravity is equal to potential energy divided by the mass times the height. And mass is equal to potential energy divided by the gravity times the height. So this allows you to work out any formula. It does not work, unfortunately, when you have a slightly more complex formula. Then you just have to be aware of what you might as well just go back to algebra, because the rule for something like this is a bit more complicated. The rule for dividing this up depends which side you're solving. So if you're solving the left side, if you need to know one of these variables here, you must put all of these at the top minus the half. Yeah, the half should be in there. You should just stick it as an individual thing. So it'll be half mass and velocity squared. And then the rest of your stuff, MGH, would be divided at the bottom like that. And then you just draw your pyramids and your division lines, which means mass is equal to half times mv squared divided by gravity times the height. Gravity is equal to half mg squared divided by mass times the height. Height is equal to half mv squared divided by the mass times the gravity. And mass is equal to, so now if I was to solve this side of the equation, if I needed to solve something on this side, this does not work, because look, mass is not equal to the it's not equal to velocity squared divided by the mass, the gravity, and the height. It's the opposite. So that's the problem with using it for this. So if you had to solve the other side of the pyramid, something on the other side, you'd want to put these things down here and these things up here. And then you divide your lines. So that's the only time this pyramid thing doesn't work, is when there's multiple variables on both sides of the equation. But I mean, for most physics, where there's just one thing equal to two other things or three other things, or even if it's six other things, my original method would work. You put this at the bottom of the pyramid with these, and these at the top of the pyramid, and you have a formula that can calculate anything. When you get deeper, you should really learn algebra, though, because algebra is the solution to all of these things. It becomes very quick to do.